The main character is reborn as a useless demon, despised for being weak and chosen by his own kind as a sacrificial offering. However, the moment he opens his eyes, everything changes. With just a single breath, he annihilates every demon present. Only one demon realizes who he truly is, the strongest healer of the past, a man who also possesses a terrifying ability that grows stronger with every kill. In the final battle a year ago, the hero faction fought against the demon army and suffered devastating losses. Although they ultimately succeeded in killing the Demon King, the heroes were left gravely wounded. Before dying, the Demon King left fragments of his flesh and blood within their bodies, slowly corroding and devouring them from the inside. The main character's left arm was eventually assimilated. In the end, he was forced to personally kill his own comrades, then crushed his own heart to perish together with the Demon King. 5 years later, somewhere else, a mantis-type demon is leading a new generation of demons in a sacrificial ritual, capturing for human girls, along with one demon trash. At this moment, the so-called useless demon opens his eyes. It is the main character newly reincarnated. The mantis demon swings his blade at him, but the main character swiftly lowers his head, deliberately letting the blade sever the chained right arm. Demon scum. You don't even recognize me? The mantis demon is instantly crushed by a familiar aura, cold sweat pouring down his body, because he is the only demon who once witnessed Gron during the Great Battle years ago. Back then, he was merely a rookie who barely survived, losing an arm in the process. That memory left a deep impression on him. Are you Gron? Before he can finish speaking, the main character rips his head off. After killing the mantis demon, he realizes that his blood sea of corpses ability has returned. Am I alive again? In the next second, monsters swarm toward him from all directions. He grabs the mantis demon's blade and, within seconds, slaughters every monster present. At this point, the blood sea of corpses reaches the 9th level. Unfortunately, these demons are merely weak fodder, and the power gained depends on the opponent's strength. After clearing the area, he uses his former healing skill to regenerate his arm, only to find snakes growing out of it. Eventually, the arm transforms into a demon limb. Only then does he realize this is not resurrection, but reincarnation into a demon's body. How disgusting! A lowly race that deserves no purpose other than being slaughtered. A demon who once bullied the original owner of this body appears, threatening to kill him sooner or later. Did you hear the consequences, you useless demon? Just as the centipede demon believes his words are enough to intimidate him, the main character plunges a blade into its tail and splits it clean in half. The world turns crimson. Though confused about his fate, as long as he can continue slaughtering demons, he has no complaints. He then searches for a place to rest. While scouting the surroundings, he notices the corpse of a massive demon he once killed in his past life, now turned into a base for the new demon generation. Soon after, he finds a familiar cave from his memories, seemingly untouched by demons, suitable as a shelter. Sitting before the fire, memories of his past comrades resurface. He carves a small statue, imagining that if he had been stronger, perhaps they could still laugh together. He throws the statue into the flames, symbolizing Gron's rebirth. Suddenly, a sharp pain strikes his head as memories of this demon body flood in. Among demons, strength is everything. This snake demon was constantly bullied, nothing more than a mountain slave. Yet demons have begun learning human knowledge. Once mere tools of war for the demon emperor, driven only by bloodlust, they develop civilization within just 5 years. Though unsure why, the main character believes all of this happened because he was not strong enough before. In this life, he vows to surpass his former self and eradicate the demon race completely. The next morning, he heads to the rookie training grounds. A demon instructor is explaining the current situation on the continent. After the demon emperor's death, demons formed 5 great royal peaks and continued the war against humanity, resulting in a long-standing stalemate. Next comes the lecture on talent seals. These seals grant abilities. Only some humans possess them, while every demon has one. Using a talent seal consumes seal energy, which varies based on condition and markings. From weakest to strongest, seals range from 1 to 6, with super seals beyond that. The second seal is a critical threshold. While one seal allows skill usage, only at 2 seals can one awaken the true authority, the ultimate move. The main character currently has only 1 seal. At that moment, a demon shoves him forward. The demon's appearance draws attention. It is a 2-seal demon skilled in Thunder Rock archery. This body was often used by him as a footrest. As he questions who released his slave, the instructor interrupts, casually ordering someone to be thrown into a manure pit. Training begins. The instructor unveils a monster and introduces it as the Evil Howler, a creation of the Demon Emperor. Its intelligence is low and it even attacks demons. It has only one weak point. Use everything you have to find it, rookies. Feeling he has gathered enough information, the main character prepares to leave when chaos erupts. The Evil Howler suddenly attacks, only to be restrained by the chain around its neck. Despite possessing 3 seal strength, its throat remains its fatal weakness. Suddenly, the Evil Howler speaks, mocking the naive rookies. After weeks of acting, you really thought you completed the task of that higher being? With a flick of its finger, the chain shatters. Instantly, the 2-seal instructor is killed. The rookies flee, but a single roar wipes out half of them. The rock demon barely survives and decides escape is best. He doesn't want to waste his secret weapon yet. Suddenly, he crashes into the main character, falls and curses him. The main character calmly wipes the blood off his shoulder. At that moment, the Evil Howler notices them and charges forward. The rock demon prepares to use his hidden weapon. As the Evil Howler approaches, the main character stares directly at it, releasing killing intent. The beast freezes in fear. Why isn't this small demon afraid at all? Could he know my weakness? He reassures himself this is just a rookie demon. He must be bluffing. As he steps forward, cold sweat pours down his back. One more step, the main character says calmly, and you'll die. The Evil Howler sneers and unleashes its power. Gron stands unmoving as rocks shatter around him. The beast hesitates, high risk, low reward. In the end, it chooses to flee, leaving everyone stunned. A blonde demon, irritated, offers a hand. He scoffs internally. How could a mere slave dare approach him? But the hand suddenly tears a strip of cloth from his clothes. Gron uses the cloth to wipe his hand clean. The blonde demon explodes in rage as whispers spread. The Evil Howler ran away? How did you do it? Tell us your trick, slave. Gron replies calmly, I once read a human combat manual. It states that evil howlers cannot see stationary targets. The crowd gasps. That book written by Gron the Demon Slayer? He knows demons better than we do. They urge killing the beast for rewards. Gron thinks silently. Its eyesight is extremely sharp. Standing still would be suicide. The blonde demon mutters jealously, offended by Gron's calm confidence. Others check on him. He pretends to be fine and orders his followers. You boast about your secret techniques every day. Now prove it. Follow that guy and kill him in the most humiliating way possible. The others claim you'll be satisfied with how he meets his end. After a while, they perch on the roof tiles, saying, You've followed long enough, finish it here. Gron strolls casually, unaware of the imminent danger. Yen Gui speaks up, With my mist shielding you, no one will interfere. Second brother watches every move closely and orders, Hurry! Another voice warns, Don't follow further. The bone barrier echoes their commands. This little brat wants to play hide and seek? The talent seal of the snake demon is based on ancient bloodlines. Beware its poisonous fangs. But no worries, its power is weak. At worst, a bite just stings for a while. Second brother commands, We split up and force him out. Suddenly, a voice cries out, Yen Gui, help me. That cursed snake bit my stomach. It hurts. Poison spreads from his wounds. The abdomen explodes like a mine, filling the area with toxic fumes. Everyone nearby is struck by the poison, screaming in agony. My eyes! The poison! Through the haze, images of Gron appear, accompanied by groans. Eyes stinging, he concentrates, channeling his soul energy into his vision. Even in darkness, he can see clearly. Focusing energy in his arms, he can manifest serpent shapes to attack. Amidst the toxic fog, second brother asks, What's happening? What about fourth and fifth elders? Echoes respond. The smoke stings his eyes. Ron reflects. Compared to his previous life, the ancient snake bloodline now provides him much more tactical flexibility. Second brother, enraged, swings his axe, dispersing the FOG as the smoke clears. Ron observes with a cold gaze. He remarks, You ambushed those 3 clumsy ones. Tail lifted skyward, huh? Without smoke, you're nothing before me. Hamu speaks from outside. Poisonous snake. Second brother is furious now. You're doomed. Second brother raises both axes. Preparing his strike, he poses coolly, swinging his right axe, then switches to his left. TMU cheers loudly. Encouragement is fervent. Gran, calm and contemptuous, watches. After the swing, second brother commits to his attack. Gran charges, blood flying everywhere. TMU, stunned and bloodless, kneels, begging, "I surrender! Don't silence me." Ron replies, giving a reason. TMU continues, "I never wish to harm you. It's just that the genius second seal Huang Fa forces obedience." Gran, expression icy as stone, says coldly, "Not enough." Alarmed, TMU offers, "Fine, I'll lead you to his secret mountain cave. It surely hides a precious treasure." Ron thinks silently. The layers of his blood sea of corpses have increased slightly. Soon, he may awaken second seal power. He recalls the ancient snake bloodline technique, snake shedding, needing a rare artifact for self-sacrifice and evolution. He decides to check the cave for anything useful. TMU guides him. The treasure is hidden behind a waterfall. Just enter directly. Gran, suspicious, grabs TMU by the collar, using him as a shield against protective arrows. Arrows strike directly, and Gran coldly nods in thanks. Inside the cave, a small shining artifact lies on the ground among scattered human bones. A voice announces. The evil Howler leader wreaked havoc at Rookie Camp 2 but was scared off by a snake bloodline servant. Another voice inquires, "A rookie servant?" Rhea, cheerful, finds it amusing. She is the leader of the bone-carving faction. Gran mutters, "Such a large cave, yet hiding only a small artifact." He opens it to find a small pouch, a voice instructing, "Place it here for me." Huang Fa dashes like lightning, snatching the pouch. He shouts, "You dare touch my item?" Gran catches him, preventing an attack. Huang Fa groans, struggling to act while restrained. Huang Fa wonders why this person seems completely different from before. No wonder the five couldn't handle him. Direct confrontation is impossible. The cave is cramped, and his leg injury needs minutes to recover. He retreats, launching out from the waterfall immediately. Huang Fa spreads his wings, eyes burning with rage. Gran stands inside the waterfall, muttering, "Another bird-type demon." He turns, walking casually, then stops, recalling the bird-type demons in his mind. Standing firm, deep in thought, Gran spins lightly, readying an attack. He bursts out of the cave like a whirlwind. His eyes blaze with fury. Bird-type demons, die! Soon, Huang Fa turns to find him right behind. Gran grabs him by the neck with a long reach. He pulls him down, clutching every long feather. Gran attacks ferociously. A fierce battle unfolds in midair. Huang Fa counterattacks, knocking Gran down. Sliding across the water, Gran's arm seems stuck, unable to move. From above, Huang Fa shouts, "I didn't expect you to fall into this sticky honey lake. Such bad luck." Suddenly, vicious honey worms from below surge, attacking Gran. He smirks. "These hungry, numerous creatures. I'll savor every bite until only bones remain." The honey has formed this deadly lake. If Yuan Shan were alive, the demons might have fully conquered humans. Gran bites the honey worms effortlessly. They persist, trying to drain his blood, but with his power, they are instantly severed in two. Huang Fa observes, astonished. Such strength, but it comes from sheer practice. These honey worms, no matter how old, you can't kill them all. Enraged, Gran unleashes his hand, transforming into venomous serpents to strike each worm. His attacks are brutal and intense. He mocks, "Rotten farmer, at this speed you can't even shovel manure fast enough." The serpents shred the honey worms, blood splattering. Huang Fa derides, "Too slow. These worms can only dig shallowly. Prepare to be utterly destroyed, you farmer scum." One by one, the worms fall into the swirling waters. Gran continues, eyes sharp and terrifying. His serpent-headed strikes grow, even more menacing. Gran's technique targets Huang Fa. He wonders at Gran's speed. Soon, most honey worms are dead. Gran thinks, "Although I killed many at once, they were weak, only helping me reach second seal. But this is necessary to deal with the troublesome bird demon." In the next blink, he intends to crush Huang Fa's skull. Huang Fa screams in terror, "You're insane! Stop this nonsense!" Gran darts forward like lightning, saying, "Too slow." Huang Fa raises his bow for a counterattack, cursing, "Damn it! Stop underestimating me. The demon arrow from my lord, once picked up with my sister at the coast. Perhaps fate leads me to use it now. The arrow, charged with immense power, flies straight at Gron. Huang Fa is stunned. The arrow pierces Gron's abdomen. Light radiates from the arrow as a voice asks in confusion, "What's happening?" Gron takes the hit, plummeting uncontrollably into the lake, sinking swiftly without resistance. Huang Fa mutters, "What, has the thunder arrow already struck him?" A rushes forward, calling out, "Brother, are you all right? I followed Longwu down. Thought something happened to you." Huang Fa replied, "I'm fine, sis. I was just dealing with a thief trying to steal our items." His gaze lingered on the small pouch in his hands. "This is to heal your eyes," he added. "Even if it costs my life, I must protect it." Deep under the lake, Gron's mind raced with countless thoughts. The thunder arrow of the order somehow ended up in his hands, but he recalled it couldn't distort the body. Frowning, he wondered why his body suddenly felt different. Code marks wrapped around Gron's form. In his eyes, the number 8 appeared clearly, formed by the pattern of the code. Gron, pale-faced, muttered, "So that's it." The flashes of light continued to glow vividly. He realized the rare artifact, like the thunder arrow, triggered a natural instinct, awakening his power automatically. Truly, a greedy venomous snake. The coated snake coiled into a massive sphere, gradually shedding its skin as the bonds loosened. Suddenly, it exploded, its form no longer intact. Huang Fa on shore noted, "The bubble's gone. He must be finished." He sighed in relief. Thunder streaked across the sky, the air heavy and ominous. Raindrops began to fall, thick and heavy. The rain intensified, accompanied by fierce winds. Thunderclaps multiplied, darkening the skies. Huang Fa, sensing danger, muttered, "Fierce dark thunder." Even the lake stirred violently. A lightning strike illuminated it in purple light, causing waves to crash everywhere. As suddenly spoke. Something leapt out from the lightning. Huang Fa asked, "What? Where?" With a hollow gaze, she pointed ahead. There, a lightning bolt hit the statue in the middle of the lake. Even the water quivered. Huang Fa, stunned, stammered, "No way." Gron, surrounded by lightning, stood menacingly. Huang Fa quickly raised his arms to shield Ye. The gray sky rumbled, lightning striking violently. Gron appeared ferocious, voice threatening. "You've waited too long to die. It's my fault." Huang Fa immediately charged, shouting, "Rotten farmer, stop your arrogance." Gron glided past Huang Fa's attacks effortlessly. Huang Fa, enraged, roared, "How dare you mock me?" A lightning bolt pierced through, instantly severing his wings. Gron thought, "Not enough. This item alone isn't enough to test my current strength." Deciding quickly, he flung Huang Fa into the lake. Onshore panicked, diving after him. Huang Fa, frustrated, thought, "Damn it. If I were stronger, he'd never spare my sister." After a moment, he roared, muscles tense, readying for battle. Ron watched calmly, a hint of surprise in his gaze. Huang Fa wielded birdwing combat skills with Tianwu mastery. A cheered, "Brother, finally you've awakened your power. I've always been a burden. I can't let you fight alone." She poured all her energy into summoning the beast through demonic eyes. Huang Fa and Ye, determined to destroy Gron, combined their powers into a devastating matrix. Gron remained composed, lowering his gaze, preparing a fierce counterattack. His movements churned the lake's surface. Both powers clashed intensely. He twisted skillfully, directing lightning to strike Huang Fa. A fierce, evenly matched battle ensued. A's summoned beast attacked from behind, but the coated snake countered immediately. The brutal clash lit the sky with lightning. Gron landed, preparing another strike. Huang Fa, furious, charged, thinking this was his chance to use the bug corpses as cover for a sneak attack. But Gron's alertness rendered it useless. Huang Fa, unwilling to lose, enhanced his demonic eye technique. He readied another strike. Enhancing Tianwu's tribe power, he thought, his code power is retracting. Does he plan full defense? He shouted, "You can't block this strike." Gron's response was ruthless. "Little brat, your attacks won't stop me, so I'll..." He unleashed full force, threatening total destruction. Gron's extraordinary strength swiftly overpowered Huang Fa. who plunged into the lake, mumbling, "Grab it! Run!" A protested, "I can't leave you behind." Huang Fe's hand still clutched the pouch, but Gran stepped over it, holding the artifact tightly. Huang Fe groaned, "Return it! Please, give it back." Reluctantly, he released it. The items fell into the lake. Gran examined his sister's eye condition. Using the gouged-out eyes for healing was the only way to prevent blindness. Ron said, "A healer could fix it, but countless innocents would lose their eyes in the process." Huang Fe argued, "But good healers are rarer than eyes." I pleaded, "No need, take it all if you want. Please have mercy on us." Gran sternly demanded, "Then answer me this." His voice was commanding. Gran asked, "When those people had their eyes gouged, did they beg for mercy?" Stunned, they stammered, "What?" He ordered, "Answer yes or no." A, holding Huang Fa, quietly replied, "I forgot." Aaron reflected, "No matter how civilized or emotional, the demon's essence hasn't changed. They harm for gain, treat life as trivial, and see slaughter as normal." The new fierce thunder form was his greatest gain so far, though using it consumes massive code power. He can't wield it at will yet. Genius reported, "Leader, the bodies are here, please inspect." Ha added, "I feel these two were killed. It has nothing to do with the sudden sky change." Rhea observed, two heads severed instantly, quick and ruthless. Clearly, an uninvited guest has appeared in their territory. Deep in the forest, pale bones shimmered faintly. She said, "If a talented rookie dies mysteriously, I must personally check." Aaron walked slowly with his farming sparrow on his shoulder. Dia stopped, watching carefully. She asked, "Who are you? What are you doing?" He replied calmly, "Reporting leader. I'm collecting wild fruits for my spouse." Dia recognized him. "Ah, you're a servant. I heard you scared off the evil howlers. But now, I crave fruit. You'd better find some good ones." She pushed Gran to the ground, stepping lightly on him. Rhea calmly said, "Otherwise, I'd have to make a meal out of you." Gran quietly followed the group ahead, calculating internally. This level of contact was enough to probe her code power. Her code power was advanced and dense, clearly a master of defense, the same type as the half-barrier he'd encountered, formidable indeed. Now, although the demons had superior speed and strength, against a skilled defender, effective offensive tactics were lacking. It was regrettable. If he could kill that fourth code demon, the T-Sun Huyet High would rise greatly. Not only that, the disparity in skill and strength was vast, and her weakness was unknown, the chance of victory slim. Yet how could he suppress his desire for her? The hunt was beginning. Elsewhere, Rhea was reading and studying. Not this one, the book's title flashed. Heavenly Code Chart B, Third Generation Demon Lord, by Agricola. She flipped to the next page, then dismissed it. Not this either. Another page. T-Sun Huyet High, each life taken grants a slight power boost. The stronger the victim, the greater the enhancement. She pondered long, annoyed, resting her feet on the table. Still not right. Deep in the forest, on a cliff, Gran climbed silently, thinking. A hunt requires patience. He needed to plan before she suspected, gradually raising his strength to at least a level where a sneak attack could kill her. A caravan passed. Monsters whispering, "Slow down. If the leader finds out about this trade, we're dead." Another reassured, "Relax, it's secret. The leader won't notice." Suddenly, a fly hovered in the air. Caught by a long tongue, a frog on the water swiftly devoured it. Gran surfaced slowly behind the frog, recalling the conversation earlier. Truly secretive. He could safely use them to strengthen his T-Sun Huyet High lair. In the cave, a demon guarded the entrance. Seeing Gran, he shouted, "Stop! Who are you? Pup, get out. No pass, no entry." After a moment, Gran stepped into the cave, casually letting the guard's body drop. The bustling noise of the market echoed around them. "You've finally passed the test, received the token." Indeed, the chaos of the past Veen Sun territory. Once, humans could be bought anytime, anywhere. Now, everything is forbidden. Ron glanced at another stall. A demon constantly promoted a material, and Zoo Steel, top tier, crafted weapons that resonated with the user's code power, multiplying sword strength many times over. A customer scoffed, "I've heard of Anzu steel, but it's just a rumor. No blacksmith knows how to craft it." "What's the point?" The crocodile stall owner displayed his wares. Potions to boost code power, made from two-legged animals, not four. Others eagerly watched. If the leader knew about these forbidden items, at least 10 layers of punishment would follow. Having obtained a treasure, the effort wasn't wasted. 2 years ago, the leader had banned all human-made products and human slaves, claiming resource conservation but clearly irrational. Gron observed their chatter. Suspecting she might be plotting something, a monstrous beast laughed wickedly. Everyone, new stock today. Except the first buyer, others lack eyes, so the price is fair. Nearby wolves observed and critiqued. This defective batch, tricking us? I heard a sibling pair gouged human eyes before. The merchant was clearly profiting from them first. Den Chao feigned politeness. Don't rush, the price will be fair. Gron suddenly approached from behind, stating, I want all of it. Chao turned, smirking disdainfully. You got money? Pauper. Gron casually displayed a talisman. Hung Thunder Talisman, in exchange for their goods. If this seems unreasonable, consider it unspoken. They stared in astonishment. The talisman of that blonde brat? Gron instructed to bring them outside and explain in detail that Chao's minions ordered the slaves. Hey, bring them over here. Athien dropped his package in fright, fumbling to pick it up amid the commotion. Run! A minion's cord tripped him, sending him sprawling. The monster glanced back, disappointed, wishing to keep the last morsel. After the group left, Chao laughed at Gron. You handled it quickly so the blonde brat wouldn't notice the treasure stolen. Consider yourself found. Be honest with him. Yes, I hurried, Gron admitted. Chao smirked, applauding. The door slammed shut, separating the cave's interior from the outside world. Flames flickered in the dark night. Suddenly, immense power struck Chao, who screamed in terror. No, no, no! The force threw him helplessly to the ground, writhing in pain. After a moment, silence returned, only blood staining the ground. Gron slowly opened the door, walking forward coldly. Behind him, the bodies of monsters lay scattered. Elsewhere, Chao's minions led the others away. Grumbling, the minion ordered obedience. Don't speak, or I'll pull out your tongues for roasting. Suddenly, Gron appeared behind, finishing off one of them. Looking at his bloodied hands, he reflected. He was no longer reckless, and the counter had completed one full cycle. Exla, eyes welling, stared at the scene in horror, witnessing the monster's corpses. Terrified, she looked at Gron, the demon among demons. He silently observed her. Thankfully, the counter increased one notch. The activation rate of Happy Day remained low, the power in effect. Happy Day failed to trigger. The power had rare side effects, uncontrollable. Each counter cycle increased the chance of auto-activation. Gron silently watched Exla and Athien among the slaves, handing the package to the boy. Athien hugged it joyfully. Yes, yes. Ron glanced back at the group, ordering, Follow me. Exla hesitated, handing over the cord. Do you want this? Gron casually flicked it aside. I don't like seeing others blinded. Soon, wooden figures were placed on a pedestal. The slaves saw the light once more. They eagerly thanked Gron. I see, great benefactor, truly thank you. Never thought demons could be kind. He answered calmly. If you don't know how to speak, don't babble. The boy, terrified by previous yellow-haired and pink-haired demons, didn't know how to respond. Benefactor, please forgive us. Gron, healing Athien's eyes, sharply interrupted. Quiet. The boy clasped hands sincerely. Really? Thank you. For helping find my things and healing my eyes. Sulla behind stammered. Why did you save us from the demons? Gron, serious, interrupted her. Because I must save her. It's unquestionable. What? Gron glared sharply at Exla. Don't you see your benefactor is busy? Children should stay quiet. He crouched, sighing, calculating how to lead them. Silence enveloped the space. All eyes focused on him. Exla, frustrated, suddenly had an idea. Her voice echoed, I'll tell a joke. At a tavern in NEA, to celebrate Teat the Nong, the second drink was half price. Someone heard and demanded, I want a second drink. The others awkwardly sweated, Sala frozen at their reaction. Gron chuckled, leaving everyone puzzled. Even the long-haired demon laughed at the bland joke, embarrassed. The humor of demons was peculiar indeed. Exla ran to Gron, crying, Yet only you understand me. Suddenly, A snake emerged from the ground, coiling around the girl's leg. Salah panicked, struggling against the serpent. The others could not escape their fate either. The boy with spiky hair stared blankly at Gron. Benefactor? Gron grinned coldly, emotionless. So naive. Demons, no matter how disguised, always hide their cruelty. Never trust them. Now taste the most agonizing death. This is the fate of the gullible demon. From now on, remember this lesson well. Except for Salah, the others were thrown to the ground. Gron stared at the girl, who struggled. What are you resisting? Unwilling to die from poison? Tears welled in Sal's eyes, but she answered resolutely, You don't want to kill us. You only use poison, so we learn caution. Gron remained silent. Xla continued. Who warned the dead to remember? You only want us to remain vigilant against other demons. Ron asked the girl, How can you be so sure? She shouted firmly while squeezing the snake's neck. Because you are a good demon. I trust you. Gron questioned further. So what do you think now? Xla's eyes sparkled. I want to follow you. Gron refused immediately. I don't need a useless follower. The girl confidently extended her hand. I'm a swordsmith. I won't hold you back. My name is S. And you? Gron looked at her suspiciously. Sala, are you Alexius's granddaughter? Sala admitted truthfully. Yes, you know my grandfather. Gron slowly recounted his past. He met Alexius at 17 to 18 years old. When she was a child, he once carried her. Ron recalled a certain house. Alexius frowned, stern. I don't forge two types of swordsmiths, murderers of kin or killers of the innocent. Yet you smell the blood of both on yourself. Go back to where you came from. My small forge won't entertain you. Gron quickly explained. Nundia told me to seek you. She said you were the greatest swordsmith, forging a unique greatsword. I wanted it. Alexius paused. Nundia of the Compassionate Sect? You know her. He studied Gron, then accepted. She's a good person. She can tell you're not evil. Gron owed her a debt. He wanted to repay it with the strongest sword. He also gave Alexius a statue, a compassionate deity given by Nundia as a protective talisman for the sword. When can I get the sword? Alexius patiently replied. Young man, a good sword cannot be forged in a few days. You may visit any time. Oh, soon my daughter will give birth. I need to write blessings for the child. Later, on a snowy rainy day, Gron visited Alexius's house, witnessing its ruin. Alexius held a trembling child, the great sword in front. Gron approached, asking, Alexius, where's my sword? He closed his eyes. Take it yourself. Gron noticed the name engraved on the sword. Sulla Alexius explained it was the granddaughter's name, the sword's name too. Gron glanced at him. Where are her parents? Alexius sadly recounted they were all killed. Beasts claiming to be demons had raided the village, slaughtering all in sight. Gron's eyes darkened. So these were the so-called demons. Alexius asked, You've met them, right? Nundia and your loved ones were also killed by them. Gron's gaze darkened with deep hatred. Yes, they all died because of demons. The child had not yet received blessings at birth. Gron gently held Xla, softly saying, I bless you. May your life be less suffering. May your name bring destruction to evil. Alexius continued, Do you need me to change your sword's talisman? The compassionate deity, you no longer need compassion, right? Gron remained silent, quietly taking the sword and leaving that he pondered compassion, planting the sword firmly in the ground. Healing those harmed is mere patchwork, self-deception by the sect of compassion. What he wanted, before evil swung its blade at the innocent, he would strike the demons first, kill them all until mountains of corpses formed, until rivers of blood flowed, until every single one was dead. Returning to reality, Esla gasped, realizing, So you are Uncle Gron. Her grandfather often told her stories about him, but now he looked like a demon, much younger than she imagined. Hardly appearing over 30. Gron calmly replied, Long story, just consider me well-maintained. Why was I captured by demons? Sal sighed, explaining that before forging the strongest magic sword, she could not return to her grandfather. Gron regarded her with deep eyes. He encouraged her calmly. Then keep trying. Xla's eyes lit up. Really? You think I can do it? Gron calmly picked up a pen, beginning to write on parchment. Something from the heart, Admirable indeed. When finished, he pressed a stone over the paper. I am a vampire knight, saving you from the serpent demons. Once you awaken, wear the pelts of these demons and head east to reach Yivia's borders. Athien and 2 men still slept on the grass. A long-haired man woke them. Wake up! Read this. It's the legendary vampire knight, disciple of the mad slayer Magron. All 3 donned the pelts Gron left. Athien looked far away. Is this true? Elsewhere, Ron dropped supplies, wiping sweat. Exla, did you handle them? Bring pliers and other tools back. How's the girl? She proudly pointed at the stand in front. Making a simple sword-casting pedestal is easy, but unfortunately, the only premium steel mine, Steel 34, was occupied by demons. Currently, rare to acquire. She had skill but nowhere to display it. Ron silently placed a pile of steel before her, explaining, picked it up conveniently before. Our luck isn't bad. Exla clapped in amazement. Uncle, you're incredible. Gron, curious, asked the girl. You know how to forge Steel 34? Excited, she hugged the pile of steel in her arms. Of course, don't underestimate me. I'm only the 3rd person in the world who knows how to forge Steel 34. Hearing this, Gron was even more shocked. The 3rd person, the girl, her grandfather, and who else? Gron's gaze darkened as Sala spoke. The legendary war demon of this era, Agricola. But even he, hailed as the strongest demon lord in history, looked down on forging swords for other demons. He only made 2 swords for his own use. Excluding the Exla sword you lost, there are now only 6 weapons in the world made from Steel 34. Surprising that a threat like this appeared in the new generation of demons. I must become stronger quickly. Where are you going? Gron replied coldly, turning away. Continuing my hunt. At the demon leader's private hot spring in the mountain territory, a demon reported the news. Leader, the underground black market is wiped out. Everyone there has been killed. Ria's voice rang out, scolding sharply. The inherent cruelty of demons is hard to remove. From now on, your patrol team must tighten control and strictly regulate all trade with humans. The demon bowed respectfully. Understood. She continued giving orders, and the bodies were to be displayed in the square for all to see the fate of those who defy her. Curious, the demon asked, so how should we find the culprit now? Ria waved him off. That's not your concern. Go back to work and make sure to notify the kitchen and the slaves. If breakfast is still lacking tomorrow, they won't need to live anymore. Saying that, she immersed herself in the warm water. Alone, Ria thought to herself, wishing she had higher quality sugar. Elsewhere, in front of a tent, demons whispered among themselves. Things have been uneasy here lately. We'd better stick together. Could it be that the Tamtu and bandits from some unclaimed territories are sneaking in to cause trouble? Are you stupid? A stranger with Tamtu and strength, our leader might not notice, but what if someone just pretends to show the power of a single in? Forced suppression of lack and display, that's a super level and technique. But, damn it, idiot, are you trying to say there's a hidden super in nearby? Ron quietly lowered his strength upon hearing this. He pondered silently. The demons here are now a bit cautious. Faking a single and to lure them seems more effective for leveling up than attacking head-on. The demons crowded around another corpse, murmuring about yet another prodigy dead. Today's victim. He was close to reaching Tam and no one like the blonde-haired guy or his sister could match him. Strangely, every year a few prodigies die mysteriously. Lucky for me, I'm weak. Gron glanced at the body. He hadn't killed this one. And they mentioned that some prodigies had been mysteriously killed before. Could there be another predator here besides me? Gron's steps suddenly halted, his gaze darkening as he stared toward a desolate village. He seemed to sense the presence of someone else. He focused on the tattered wall in the distance. I can't tell who's watching a mere slave, but it's probably not to steal farming techniques, he muttered. Slowly, he approached. The stranger leapt toward him. Gron dodged nimbly and struck back immediately. His attack barely affected the stranger. Ron marveled silently. The defensive power was immense. Gron quickly retreated, eyes fixed on the mysterious figure. Thinking briefly, he kicked a nearby pillar, splitting it in half. The structure began to collapse, threatening the roof. The stranger raised his arm to block. Taking advantage, Gron struck directly at him without hesitation. The stranger sneered. Stubborn fool, still charging after being warned? Looks like I underestimated you. Suddenly, the stranger's arm, caught by Gron, emitted a terrifying force. The stranger panicked, struggling against Gron's overwhelming power. The force shook the surroundings violently, debris flying everywhere. Gron retreated slightly, concentrating his energy throughout his body. He blocked it. The two continued to face each other without change. A piece of cloth floated slowly from above, landing in front of Gron. He vanished instantly. The stranger finally revealed herself. It was Rhea. She silently watched Gron disappear and left without pursuit. With his speed, she knew she couldn't catch him. A smile of interest spread across her face. Such a dangerous person with only one N. If we get the chance to catch him, should we behead him or recruit him? As evening fell, Gron headed toward the cave where Sala was hiding. He recalled, as expected, in his current state he could only inflict minor damage to her. Sala's Steel 34 sword would take months to finish forging. He needed a way to reshape it into a new form, powerful enough to handle this tough challenge. Suddenly, a dense smoke enveloped Gron. He brushed it aside, exclaiming, "Sala, you forgot the exhaust smoke?" Sala blushed, scratching her head, too excited about obtaining Steel 34 to remember. "Oh no, too hot." The girl lifted the blazing sword with a metal rod, sweat streaming down her face. She continued dipping it into water, the sizzling sound constant. Ron asked curiously, "X, is this the sword you made for me?" She wiped her sweat and smiled widely. "Yes, since your strength isn't great right now, I made a half-size sword. Balance is perfect. It's the 7th and TUC Kwang weapon of this era. My best creation so far." A voice called out, "Lord Gron, please witness." In her hands appeared a long sword glowing brilliantly. Gron praised her. "Well done, Sula." "Really? Exactly right," he asked. "But what about the hilt guard and pommel?" She said the proper materials weren't ready. Gron wrapped it with cloth. "Good enough for now. Have you named it yet?" "I'm not good at naming," she replied. "Your previous sword was called XA, so let's name this one Little Xla." Gron didn't object. Little Xla. The sword in his hands felt solid, exuding strong energy. Truly an NTUC Kwang weapon. His body longed to use it as a vessel to transform and evolve. But Gron said, "Now's not the time. We must wait until it's complete to fully evolve into a truly powerful form." Sula cheered. "I'll do my best." Innocently, she asked, "Uncle, can you use the second technique of the Heavenly Disaster Sword now? I want to see the sword I forged perform a technique like the legendary Earth Refinement." Ron explained kindly, "There's no high enough ground in these mountains for the Heavenly Disaster Sword's second technique to unleash its full power." The next morning, Sula was still asleep, drawn by the smell of food. "Smells so good." She saw a delicious-looking cake on the table and grinned. "You can make this too?" Ron asked. "While teaching at the Vong Lap Academy, a parent once delivered this to me." Gron placed a sweet orange slice on the cake. Everyone was surprised to see it. "Go ahead, we need to fetch wine for the leader downstairs." Inside, a girl lay casually on a chair. Gron didn't speak or look at her. She looked at Gron calmly as he entered, noticing the long plate he held. "Such a long plate. Let me see what you brought." She added, "You're thoughtful, delivering it right to my door." Seeing the delicious cake, she smiled widely. She truly understood. Then she shouted, "Bring the wine upstairs now." After the shout came a decisive slash. She realized it was the NTUC Kwang sword. The strike scratched part of her face. Gron said, "The next strike won't be so lucky." Seeing this, she activated her innate power, using her combined defensive technique to block Gron's attack. Ron marveled, noting that her innate defensive power was impressive. He probed her a bit further. She calmly replied, "With skill at this level, surprises probably won't suit my taste." Gron wasn't afraid to respond. "Perhaps I used too little honey. My mistake for not asking first." A gruff voice yelled, "Your preference." The two launched into a fierce clash. Both were extremely competitive, sparks flying everywhere. One wielded a sword, the other a shield, meeting each other head-on. She glanced at Gron and gave a disdainful smirk before unleashing her transforming techniques. Gron was no less skilled. He activated the Ibius Dusk Strike. A sharp spear lunged straight for his eyes, but he nimbly dodged. It only grazed past him. This made Gron more determined. He gripped his sword tightly, channeling all his strength into it, but she effortlessly blocked it with her shield. The force was immense, sending debris flying. Seeing this, she thought that relying solely on raw attacks without an energy management would soon deplete her power. Gron calculated that he still had enough and to strike 4 times and heal once. Would her spear endure the counterattacks? At that moment, Gron came up with a better plan. He stood a few meters away, his body radiating killing intent. This aura, called Hung Lei, surged toward her like a lightning circle, but she dismissed it as insignificant. Calmly, she used her shield to defend, adding an extra layer of an energy around her body as a barrier. This technique was invented by Fei Yi to combat electric-type demons. Back then, he taught many human warriors this move. Now, a demon had secretly learned it. Could a demon rival Fei Yi's innate skill? She asked, "Why the hurry?" At the same time, her left hand transformed. It pierced through Gron, going straight through his shoulder and lifting him high. She said calmly, "Trying to assassinate me while getting distracted? Pathetic." Suddenly, snakes slithered in, causing her slight surprise. She shrugged it off. "Not this cheap trick." Gron gripped his sword, an energy resonating through it. She crushed a snake with disdain, seemingly shameless. Anger flared. "All right, now the warm-up is over. The real fight begins." In the old days, molten lava giants attempted to swallow 3 moons, plunging the night into eternal darkness. To protect the moonlight, the great hero Ibius wielded his weapon. His spear and shield melted from the giant's attack, forcing him to fight barehanded. Eventually, the lava giant was crushed, and he was burned to ashes in a heroic sacrifice. She frowned, gathering energy in her hands for dusk strike. But the twin gloves shrank, and she thought, "Not good, too late." Gron charged, his form glowing purple, wielding a sword shaped like a serpent. Observing, she calculated the gap during the spear's transformation. The entire scene turned red, and he drove his sword straight at her, blood splattering. A flicker of astonishment crossed Gron's eyes. She bit down to block the sword, golden eyes full of killing intent, whispering, "Finally caught you." From her left arm emerged a massive golden hand, called the Ibius arm, radiating immense power. Swift and decisive, her punch flew straight at him. The sudden strike caught Gron off guard, dissipating his purple form. Not only was he pushed tens of meters away, but the ground cracked beneath him, dust filling the air. His sword flew from his hand, embedding itself into the ground. She advanced again for another strike. Gron worried, his organs crushed, ribs broken. He had to evade this punch and find a chance to heal. The punch came dangerously close, and he prepared for a counterattack, locking her left arm. Her face darkened, voice displeased. "Trying to use joint lock techniques on me?" She retracted her golden glove, lightly praising him. "A seasoned fighter like you. I won't hesitate to use technique on the ground with you." They rolled and clashed on the ground several times. Through the dust, the positions seemed slightly confused. She was pinned under him, saying, "I bet your internal injuries hurt terribly. You endure so well. I've only known one like you." Her golden eyes glimmered, cheeks slightly pink, adding, "It would be a pity to kill you." Dia suddenly pressed her legs, trapping Gron. He saw his sword nearby, trembling to reach it. Rhea asked, "Do you want to consider working for me?" As he grasped the sword, she released him and said, "Fine. I'll take that as your answer." Golden light radiated from her left arm and Ibius' hand as she prepared another strike. Another brutal punch aimed at Gron, her cruel voice shouting, "Die!" He was struck, tearing through layers of rock, forming craters, debris falling violently. The building cracked under the shockwave. The punch lifted him higher, smashing through even a thick skull. Rocks and dirt flew into the air, giving a view of the entire island. Observing from dozens of layers of debris, she muttered, "If the steel 34 sword hadn't blocked it, this punch would have shattered you." Dust clouds lingered. She thought, with injuries like this, I doubt he survives. In midair, Gron calmly used healing, then landed on a rock, crushing it with his weight. Through his gaze, the scene became clear. A huge skull in the forest, a purple circle quickly forming. Spotting her, he dashed forward. Gron radiated blinding light, his sword aimed at diameter. She froze, face changing in disbelief, thinking, the heavenly disaster sword second technique? A streak of purple power descended. Hung Lei, heavenly disaster sword technique. Rhea raised her left hand to block. She shouted, "Filthy demon! How dare you? The razor-sharp sword, wrapped in immense power, collided with her fist. The impact caused a massive explosion, shattering part of the giant's skull and forming a new hole. The strike was so strong, the high-rise below was illuminated by purple light streaming through windows, as if it could collapse at any moment. The building was once intact but damaged by the clash. The ground remained scarred with residual electric energy, smoke and bone dust filling the air. After the haze, Gran stood tall, sword in hand, quietly observing. Suddenly, his eyes narrowed in caution, focusing on a distant figure. Jia's silhouette appeared through thick smoke, her body glowing blue. She said, "If I hadn't used this technique in time, you'd be killed by a single strike." Injuries from the electric attack vanished, completely healed. She continued, "I've been a demon for 2 years. You're the first to force me to use this move." Her body radiated immense blue energy. Innate skill, immortal war technique, teleporting and absorbing attacks. Her hair floated in the air, eyes sharp and cold as she continued, "Filthy demon. You can be proud of yourself now." Meanwhile, Gran recoiled slightly, feeling a twinge of tension, silently reminding himself of the immortal war technique. The greenish-blue glow shifted to pink, sharp claws extending from her massive gauntlets. She lunged toward him, voice full of lethal intent, as if dragging her pride straight into the abyss. But suddenly Gran called out, "Fei Yi." She was shocked, stunned that he knew her name, her mind momentarily blank. She lifted the cloth around her neck, revealing Roman numerals, perhaps symbolizing something significant. The 4 of them moved decisively. As they walked, Merovius said, "I've been corresponding with Gran by letter. He agreed to join our group. We arranged to meet up front." Van Hack, with his towering figure, responded, "The demon slayer Gran. I thought he was just a myth spun by southern people, a legendary tale to inspire courage." A woman with orange hair shaded her eyes and looked toward a distant mountain. "Why is that mountain so perfectly round? Fragile." Suddenly, the mountain trembled violently, and 2 glowing red eyes appeared, staring at the 4 of them. Rocks tumbled from the mountain's form as it moved. Below, she shouted, "Kuma Ma Veen's son." The monster manipulated something above with its hands, mouth agape. Then a small peak emerged atop it. Someone below asked, "Why is the summit pointed?" Gran tensed, exclaiming, "That's the heavenly disaster sword first technique." The armored man shouted, "What?" Suddenly, a blinding light struck the monster, causing immense pain. The light hit its face, blood spewed, and a vivid red mark appeared on its chest. Its legs weakened, and it collapsed entirely. Below, Lin Shui used her ultimate technique, surrounding the 4 with a protective barrier against external forces. Dust swirled outside, blood from Ma Veen's son splattered everywhere, gradually clearing, revealing its grotesque face, blood streaming down its twisted features. TUC ground its teeth audibly. Van Hack raised his shield. Tan's son readied his bow. Merovius gripped his sword, and Lin Shui prepared support. From the monster emerged a blood-soaked figure, eyes glaring down. "Merovius, are these 3 the aides you mentioned?" It stepped forward, speaking as it moved. "Why such a harsh tone? From now on, we'll fight the Demon Emperor together as teammates." Hack 2, bloodied, looked at him while replying. "Establishing limits benefits everyone." From afar, he leaped down toward Merovius, warning, "Deep attachments can become burdens or calamities." Just past Merovius, Hack 2 noticed massive armor. He met Van Hack's gaze. "I do not agree with your statement," he said, lowering his eyes. "Do you agree or not? It doesn't concern me." Ignoring Van Hack, he continued ahead alone. Behind him, Merovius said, "Please understand, his temperament isn't very friendly." Van Hack replied, "It's fine. He is firm in his ideals. Later, I won't interfere either." His gaze drifted into the distance, murmuring, "Friendship with him?" Scene shifted elsewhere. She readied magic for battle, but heard Gran's soft reply, "Yes, without delay." He pressed his face into Ria's chest, startling her. Yet she murmured, "Good, you're still alive." Jia embraced him tightly, tears falling onto his hair. He mumbled, "Why cry like this? It's unlike you before." Jia lifted her face, eyes sparkling, saying, "I didn't expect to see a teammate again." Seeing her mood, he lowered his eyes, softly saying, "Sorry. If I had done better back then, you wouldn't." Before he could finish, two minions outside panicked. What happened, leader? They froze, witnessing the intimate embrace. Gran signaled them to step aside. This isn't your concern. Step outside while I rest and recover my energy, Jinan said. Walking, the ground beneath collapsing several layers from the previous clash. Dia responded, a perfect example of long-suppressed power, like a redwater beast released. Inside, sounds of pain mixed with amusement. Oh, even the Great One can feel pain. No wonder she cried. Dia glanced, judging, if it's not needed, don't listen. A blue glow emanated from his hand as he healed her. Gran, do you still feel guilty about that year? She asked. He stammered, barely allowed to speak. Stop. I hated it when you said you should have done better. Stop fretting. Ron replied. Am I really so talkative? She remarked. Sometimes, yes. Rio's pouting face showed discomfort, and he soothed her. I broke over a dozen of your bones. So you feared pain and wore thick armor back then. Scene shifted. Rio and Gran shared dessert. So, you've been reincarnated as a demon for 2 years? What about Fee? She replied softly. Yes, back then, I followed my bloodline's intuition to find Faye's sister. Only 2 of us. Reasons for reincarnation unclear. Ron stared at Rio's chest. So you changed gender? Became a female demon? She was about to eat, puzzled, and said, I was originally female. He was startled, covering his mouth. Huh. Rio squinted. So in our past life, we were together 2 to 3 years, and you always thought I was male? Imagining that, he lowered his head in helplessness, recalling a quarrel with Merovius. He said I lacked humanity. I thought he was angry. She handed him a bottle. He asked, Did everyone else know? Rio replied nonchalantly. Everyone knew. Ron wondered. Why not tell me sooner? She countered. Why didn't you ask? I assumed you knew. He turned to confirm again. Not joking, right? She tossed the bottle back. Absolutely not. Never heard Fia call me sister? Ron replied. I thought J was a military term in the northern dialect, like SCA. She glanced at Shianis G and asked, Whose child is this? He said, Alexia's granddaughter. Sword forging requires energy. She needs rest. After placing her in bed, she looked at the statues on the barrels. Rio counted 1, 2, 3, 4. Suddenly, she noticed something below and bent down to pick up the remaining statue. Why resent yourself? She asked. Ron replied, To remind myself to do better in the future. He turned slightly, smiling softly. This time, I want to eliminate evil thoroughly while also protecting all of you. Rio couldn't help but chuckle at that. She laughed out loud. Ha! That's hilarious. Rio pointed at him and asked, Relying only on you? Her eyes narrowed, serious. We need to handle those evildoers. Of course, that includes my part too. They shook hands, producing a crisp sound. By now, the crate was filled with all the statues. Elsewhere, he spoke. Over the past 2 years, you've been managing the demons on the surface but secretly assassinating the new generation's prodigies. Right? Rio placed her hands on her hips. Exactly. Preventing the rise of the exceptional could harm a faction, and it benefits me as well. In this demonic land, aside from the deputy leader I appointed, only those who follow orders. Everyone else with some power will try to kill me to seize authority. Standing confidently atop a cliff, she said, Because the second generation's tyrant demon king this year ignores politics, the demons here are harder to manage than other demon families. Gran replied thoughtfully, Seems even the tyrant demon king favors secrecy. The first generation never showed their face, and the second generation follows suit. Rio's face tensed, eyebrows slightly furrowed. Yes, and one small matter bothers me. Demons live to kill. Even if now I have some human-like emotions, sometimes I feel my body's nature affects my mind. The sky darkened. Gran nodded. I also sense the demon nature alters one's temperament. Rio frowned. How so? Gran's face went cold. Personality becomes calmer, and destructive tactics lose some creativity. Sula stepped forward, rubbing her eyes, asking, Uncle, is this the Rio who? She paused, admiring. Wow, such a cute little face. Gran helplessly patted her head, introducing Sula. This is Fa, like me, reincarnated as a demon. Rio lifted the girl gently, asking, Why did Uncle Gran dress you in rags like this? She guided Sula up and said softly, "Gather your things. Later we'll head to my underground chamber. It's more hidden and spacious than here." The three of them descended into a hall lit with an eerie greenish glow. In the underground chamber, Ron looked at the board. "Over the past 2 years, you've gathered quite a lot of intel." Rio nodded. "Of course." He studied the items pinned on the board. A soft voice spoke, "Don't treat me like a mere doll." The little girl hesitated. "Is it pretty?" She felt awkward about forging metal. Ron helplessly praised it. "It's quite beautiful, with the style of Enia's royal custom orders." Rio smirked proudly. "See? Now you know my skills are genuine." He replied, "I thought you were exaggerating. It only took you half a day to make a dress." The girl studied herself in the mirror, while Rio continued, "Limited resources? But don't you feel it has an island-style charm?" Rio rummaged through the crate, speaking aloud. "I think this hairpin matches well." Ron glanced and noticed a sharp object. He picked it up, asking its name, Soul of the Sea. Rio turned to answer, "Ah, it's just a pretty seashell, nothing more." It was given as a toll by demon merchants from the mountains. Ron continued investigating. "It's a relic from antiquity. I saw records of it in the Royal Academy." She questioned, curious. "Antiquity? The republic that perished over 3,000 years ago." Ron explained while observing the seashell. "Scholars of the Royal Academy once experimented with it. It can temporarily project a person into another soul. Once inside, one can observe the target's memories from an external perspective. Sounds like spying on someone's secrets. I thought perhaps we could use this to review moments before our deaths. I felt something was unclear, but lacked the strength to notice. So I want you to enter my soul to see if past events contributed to our reincarnation." Rio bowed slightly. "No problem," she said, lifting her head. "Let's do it." He held the artifact. "Good. Still trustworthy. Now let's attach the remaining half," he added. She replied tiredly. "Remaining half?" Ron snapped. "Yes, it must be complete to use." Rio tried to appease him. "The other half is lost." She waved her hand dismissively, ignoring his dark expression, though it was embarrassing to admit. "A rogue demon band has been wandering this wasteland for months. They've looted many supplies. The other half must be with them." His eyes narrowed. "Why not take it back? They're no match for you." She waved her hand. "You know I'm not good at tracking. They're hard to catch." He pouted. "But didn't I teach you ambush and stealth years ago? You've made no progress in all these years." Rio clasped her hands innocently. He scolded. "Whether following me before or assassinating prodigies, being slightly observant reveals their flaws." She pressed her hands together, pleading, "Hick, I'll try harder next time." He shouted, "Don't say next time. Start right now." On a rocky outcrop, 3 goblins camped. Dom asked, "The local hills haven't raided humans for 2 years. We're running out of funds." Du carried crates labeled with local demonic goods. Viton Lai delivered sugarcane, while the angelic sect offered wine. Du commented, "Tried a lot. Tastes great." Another voice asked if more meat was left. Yuru, patting Jack's chest, said, "Be patient. Soon we'll have enough power to strike the abandoned lands and handle that damn dragon." DRA brought more crates. 2 more valuable items arrived, including a snake nest for the hills. Go responded, "It's tightly locked. Rest a bit, then pry it open." The 3 groaned from the weight, finally placing the crates together. As they left, the crates moved on their own. Inside, Rio said, "It's still you who has the solution. Those scoundrels seem to have smelled trouble, forcing us to find them." Ron said, "Next time, avoid rhetorical tricks." Rio hurriedly asked, "Can't we just grab everything at once?" He replied, "Though weak, there are probably hidden guards. We can't guarantee a clean escape. If anyone grabs half of the soul of the sea, it's wasted." One outside began to suspect from the noise. He advised observing first to locate their stash. Dia complained, "Damn dragon. Those horns are dangerous. If we can snatch a few human heavy crossbows, we can handle it." Go said clearly, "Better lure the dragon to the humans. Wait until they fight each other to exhaustion, then intervene," he added. Suddenly, he fell to the ground. The crate shattered into hundreds of pieces. Go cursed, "What the hell?" The other one's empty. Rio wielded ancient bloodline magic, transforming into a snake. Ron hissed softly in his serpent form. Fei looked that way. Following his gesture, a monster carrying a female demon emerged from the tent. They raised treasure bags. Later, we'll head to the black market of the hills. Maybe we can trade for weapons or equipment. Ava smiled. No need. I heard the black market was destroyed by a ruthless figure.